Hello world, my name is Dana I.D. Matthews and welcome to my show about stuff episode 12. Yes, Archiekins and friends have turned into live action characters and it's a bunch of shades of messed up, but I can't stop watching it. So I've watched the first 4 episodes available thus far. So I'm just gonna give you my general thoughts about it. I'll start with Archie. A little bit disappointing. The whole thing with Archie, at least for me, was his average originality, the red hair, and he was a bit of a klutz. And that was Archie. And now he's like this football jock whose abs you can grate cheese on. You know, it threw me off a little. Moving on. Now, Jughead might be my favorite character out of the whole series thus far. He gives me the sort of vibe that Abed does from Community. And in episode 4, at the end, with the whole twist and learning a little more about his present situation and a bit about his past, you know, he's shrouded in mystery a little bit, which adds, you know, a lot of interest to his character. I like his little hat, you know, they did a good job on that. And he is also the faceless narrator that you hear throughout this series. So overall, you know, I think they did a good job on him. Obviously, he's not the tall, you know, skinny Jughead that you see in the comics, but at least for this live action version of him, it works. Just a little side note here: you're gonna find a lot of different things in Riverdale and changes with the characters, but a lot of the times I find that you can forget that it's from an Archie comic, you know, lore, and when you do that, the story tends to change a little bit and it becomes a little more enjoyable. Now, Betty and Veronica are very well cast, and in my opinion both stick to the comic pretty well, especially Veronica. There's this one scene, I believe it's in the first episode, and it's the first time that she's defending Betty from Cheryl Blossom. They're trying out for the cheerleading team, and Cheryl Blossom is the cheerleading captain. And, you know, she's giving Betty a little bit of shit for no reason. And Veronica, you know, just goes into ultimate mean girl mode and really embodies, you know, the comic book rich girl Veronica attitude to a T. I haven't seen much of Veronica's parents besides her mother in episode 4. You see her doing some, you know, shady backdoor things with the Southside Serpents, and you find out that, spoiler alert, you find out that her father is in jail right now and he's doing all this business from jail. So I'm a little interested in their backstory, like how her parents first met, how they first came into their money, how it grew into the amount that they have now. Because obviously they're living a very lavish life, but you know, I get a kind of gangster-ish feel, you know, with Mr. and Mrs. Lodge. So you know, that's a little interesting side story that I hope they explore. Also, I think they're part Spanish. Veronica's mom keeps calling her Mija, so you know, that's a thing. Cool. Now, Betty's character is super complex. A lot of emotion, an emotional storm going on in there for sure. Her dedication to Archie is unprecedented and extremely intense. In the 4th episode, spoiler alert, there's a part where she is threatening to lie about what she wrote in Betty's diary, a little nod to the comics there, and you know, just kind of let the townsfolk think that she's crazy, which would embarrass her mother, in order for her to continue her friendship with Archie, because her mother has a vendetta against Archie as well as the Lodges. So of course Betty hanging around with Veronica and Archie really make her mad, and she is always going out of her way to cause both of them trouble by either spreading lies or, you know, by just being a hater. There's also this whole backstory with Jason Blum and Polly, which is Betty's sister, and Jason Blum is dead. Spoiler alert: Jason Blum is dead. Uh, and you know, apparently Jason Blum did bad things to Polly, so that's another reason her mother is mad, and oh, she's overprotective of Betty, and for that reason, and you know, Betty's always like, oh mom, you're always trying to control my life, and it's pretty intense. Betty's dealing with some issues, but she's found two new friends now, or no, she was always had Archie as a best friend, and found another friend, Veronica, who, you know, it pretty much seems like they're in a polyamorous relationship. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Kevin Keller is gay, which is cool. He had a little thing going on with Moose, which I was surprised with at first, but then after a while I started to think, and I was like, that's really not unexpected. You know, the football jock captain with a bi-curiosity, you know, makes sense. As well as I really enjoyed his relationship with his dad, the sheriff of the town. You know, his dad being fully aware of his son's homosexuality, and there's one scene, I'm not sure what episode it's in, but there's this one scene where he's telling his dad that he's going out with Veronica to the movies, and his dad's like, Veronica again, really? I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, Veronica again, really? Isn't there any gay boys around for you to go out and date and hang out with, you know, basically? So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice for, you know, Riverdale to be progressing in that way. Cheryl Blossom is a great character. Well cast, well acted. You know, I applaud her because I hate her guts. And I know that they make it so that she seems that way, and that's the way that you're supposed to feel about her. So, you know, I applaud the show for that, and I applaud her talent in that specific role, because they do a great job. Everything she says just has, like, venom in it, and it's like entitlement venom. It's, you know, so it's cringeworthy, and it makes you so angry. But she does it so well, you know. So like I said, Cheryl Blossom, you know, great role, well, you know, well played. Geraldine Grundy. Now, because of her changed in nature in Riverdale, at least initially, and spoiler alert, because she leaves at the end of episode 4, and you do get to see an old picture of the original Geraldine Grundy, who apparently died 7 years ago, spoiler alert. So I don't really know what to think. The whole situation with the young Grundy and Archie, you know, the consensus I feel, and that I'm getting from everyone else, is like, this is the one thing that people could not forgive about this live action Archie, you know, transition. The sexual relationship between Archie and Grundy, or should I say Miss Gibson, you know, spoiler alert, that we find out she isn't who she says she is. So that was weird. Big no-no for pretty much everybody. But it's in there, so I kind of want to know what, like, how she ties into the whole Riverdale situation or story in general, because she left with a lot of unanswered questions. And you know, there's one scene at the end of episode 4 where she's you know, she has a lollipop and a hat and a bathing suit. I think it's a bathing suit or a dress or something, but she's dressed in a way which makes her look young. And two guys are jogging, and she's like kind of, you know what I mean, and kind of hinting at she's gonna go somewhere else and do the same thing with Archie that she, you know, that do the same thing with somebody else that she's done with Archie at a different school. Like, maybe that's a thing she does. I don't know. It was weird. But I have to know how she fits in the story. I have to know. Tell me. In short, Riverdale has changed. It's turning into new Riverdale, where they make new age media references, and Veronica's breaking the fifth wall with Cheryl Blossom, and there are sexual relationships between teachers and students, and everything just seems a little bit too real. It's weird. I don't like it, but I like it. You know, when I saw that they made Mr. Weatherby a tall, skinny black guy, I was like, "Oh shit, here we go. People are gonna start tripping." I was just waiting for the backlash, and I didn't really hear much. And for some reason, even when I was watching it, it worked. You know, I knew exactly what the old Mr. Weatherby looked like, but this Mr. Weatherby still kept the Mr. Weatherby vibe, even though looking almost completely different. It was kind of cool. It's weird. It's different. It's changed. It's the new Riverdale. The things that make it unlikable are also the things that make it likable. And for that reason, you know, as well with just reading Archie comics since I was, you know, young and seeing them every time you go to pretty much every goddamn grocery store ever, uh, I'm gonna continue watching it. No matter how bad they mess up the storyline or change the characters, I'm gonna watch it. It keeps me intrigued, the things that they are changing, and I kind of just want to see where to go with it. And with that said, that is my first impression on Riverdale so far. I think whether you like Archie or don't like Archie, I think y'all should check it out. At the end of the day, it's a lot of fun to talk about with your friends that are interested in it, because it's kind of ridiculous in terms of the things that they change. But some of the things that they, you know, it's kind of cool just seeing it in live action sometimes. You know what I mean? No matter how bad or good it is. I'm like that with anime. You know, they can make an anime a live action no matter how terrible it is. I'm still gonna watch the movie. I'm still gonna watch it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. And with that said, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I will see y'all next week. Peace out. Not. You thought I was done. I am not. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about episode 5 since I just watched it. So I thought I thought I'd add it here. Uh, One consensus that I'm, kind of figuring out here through Riverdale is that all the mothers of Riverdale are assholes. Cheryl Blossom's mom super mean to her. Betty Cooper's mom super mean, and Veronica's mom, she's all right. She's all right, but still, her everybody's view of her in general is not good. So a lot of negativity surrounding the Riverdale mothers so far. Um, One little tidbit I want to talk about is Archie's punching the heavy bag. He had no actual gloves on, just using his wraps. As a boxer myself, an amateur boxer, I just want to say I don't think that's good for your hands. I feel like they would be hurting a lot. Just saying. I like the addition of Trevor asking Betty out on a date. I like, throwing a little monkey wrench in a whole Betty, Archie, Veronica thing. I thought that was pretty cool. We got to see a couple more levels between Archie's dad and Veronica's mom, as they, went out in the past. You get a really small town feeling for real. Everybody in Riverdale definitely um, knows each other pretty darn well, from what I could tell. This episode slows things down a little, so there's not so many big reveals or big issues. Everything is already settled in. They're kind of just revealing the whole Jason Blossom death situation, and I'm not going to spoil too much here, but they figure out quite a bit, especially at the end of the episode. And so in comparison to the first 4 episodes, it's still good, still going along, revealing things as it goes, but just not so many things are as shocking, not as engaging as the first 4. It may be the whole, it's not as new anymore to me, so maybe that's pushing my opinion a little bit, but it's not that I'm disinterested in any way, shape, or form. It's just that the show is definitely it's settling in the arc that it's in now, instead of kind of like throwing them all around and kind of getting you interested in a bunch of things. They were more focused in this one episode. So still have a lot of questions. But so far, man, Riverdale is a good ass series. It's quite engaging. So many differences, but they do keep a lot of things in there, and from the comics, and they make a lot of references that are funny, and some of the characters are nailed, are done right, and they hit the nail right on the head there. Uh, so with that said, Thank you very much for watching. That's it for me. I will see you next Friday. Peace out.